Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today it's going to be a match between TY and Serral, two people in the round of 12 for Katowice, the World Championship for 2020. This is going to post after the tournament is done, so if TY wins or Serral wins, I think there will be an interest in this game. Top left-hand corner, we have TY. And in the bottom right here, we've got Serral, the Red Zerg player. Two incredible players. They are vying to be the best player in the world and the best player of their race. I don't know. I think TY might be the best Terran player, at least at the time of casting this, and Serral might be the best Zerg player. But man, Serral, Rogue, Rainer, and Dark. Ugh. Who can choose between them? Dark won the BlizzCon championship in 2020, and maybe he won the championship in 2021. We'll have to see. Or I will have to see. This is kind of weird. Casting games in advance. Anyway, we're here on Lightshade. This game is from Dreamhack Last Chance, the final premier tournament before Katowice, the World Championship. And a 16, 18, 17 here from Serral. Hope you're enjoying the new 4K. Reaper opening here from TY. Into an expansion. No problems. No problems whatsoever from TY at all. Tossing that down. I mean, you think they could do this in their sleep? You think they ever wake up in the middle of the night, wander over to their computer, start up a game of StarCraft, and just get it perfectly executed, one racks expand? I bet they do sometimes. You think so? I think so. So, Reaper moving out. Reaper's name... Oh, that's the wrong button. Let's zoom in on this guy. It is Bjorn! General Bjorn is a brilliant tactician and amazing commander who can grab victory from the jaws of defeat. However, Emperor Menks noticed that Bjorn had refused to make any Reapers in multiple battles, putting the Dominion in the dangerous position of actually having to lock criminals and citizens who make Menks mad or pop culture references up rather than putting them on a conveyor belt to their death. So General Bjorn was demoted from a general to a Reaper. Oh, Bjorn, no. Bjorn unfortunately did not make it to the round of 12 at the BlizzCons. Third base, 230, man. This is a pretty darn macro play out of Serral here on Lightshade. Interested to see what that's going to do. I'm jealous. I'm kind of jealous of you, people. Look at that third base at sub 3-minute third is so greedy from TY. I think I saw Morrow do that first. Anyway, I'm really jealous of you people who got to see who won the Katowice tournament just because I'm looking forward to it so much. I want to know. I want to know who the greatest player in the world is right now. I want to know if Stats can make it through as the old man before he goes into his military service. I want to know if Rainer gets his first World Championship trophy. I want to know if Serral can get his second. I want to know if Dark can repeat. That would be nuts. Have we ever had a repeat champion? I don't think we have in StarCraft 2. That would be crazy, man. If Dark did it 2 times in a row, he is undefeated through the group stages. Again, at the time of this casting, he's completely unbeaten, earned himself a spot into the round of 8 because of it. And he's just looking extremely good. So I would not be shocked if Dark ended up taking it. He did get a 2-0 against Serral. So, I mean... he doesn't have to worry about that guy, apparently, right now. His ZVZ is strong. Hellion moving out. Banshee coming in here, too, from TY. Double Hellion, Reaper combo. I mean, these are the buddies, right? These are the guys who are friends with each other. They go out for drinks before battle. If any of them make it home from battle, which is not honestly likely, they go for drinks, too, and just enjoy each other's company. Overlord gets, I mean, a beautiful scout. Just an absolutely sick scout, right? Recognizes, okay, that Tech Lab's researching. It's probably Cloak. Do we? I mean, that was a Viking. Do we already have a Banshee out? Oh, is it a fake out? No, no, no. He was making a Banshee. Did he cancel that and start a Viking? Oh, he does cancel. No, then he restarts Cloak. Oh, because the Overlord's coming back in. This Banshee, this Cloak Banshee fake out is hilarious. Canceled again. TY, you boss. That's hilarious. Okay, so look at that. We're tossing down spores. Because we're worried about Cloak Banshees. There aren't any, though. Surprise! Oh, Overlord sneaks in. Oh, do you think the Overlord saw? Think the Overlord recognized? I think the Overlord probably did. Look at this. The factory's on the tech lab now. The starport doesn't even have an add-on. I bet he does. And he canceled the spores, too. Oh, the scouting and the mind games at play here. This is good. This is some excellent, excellent StarCraft. TY's got a third base up because, of course, he does. We saw him building that thing under 3 minutes into the game, which is so greedy. But, man, Serral getting his fourth base up at 5 minutes to try to just compensate for the incredible macro that TY is rolling with right now. And we're just going bio. I mean, obviously, right? Marine tank, maybe some medevac stuff here. Obviously, some medevac stuff here. There's really not much defending this third. But Serral is not going to go for any kind of a crazy all-in. He's making 5 drones at a time. Centrifugal hooks on the way, getting upgrades. Armor for his dudes. The Carapace is on the way. And yeah, so far, so good from these two players. We've had some good mind games. We've had some excellent macro. What has been lost? A drone died to Hellion, I'm assuming, and some scouting overlords went down too. Stimpack researching Overseer with speed, checking to see what we're dealing with. If you have any questions as to why Serral is a former world champion and one of the best players in the world, it's this. His scouting is so consistent and so good. It is so hard to pull one over on this guy. TY tried his hardest to make Serral think that Cloak Banshees were coming, and he couldn't do it. Right? He couldn't pull it off. You can't hide it. You cannot hide what you're doing from this guy. If you beat him, it's because you beat him. It's because you're technically more excellent, and you're technically better, and maybe some Widowmines got some lucky hits. And it's CVT. I'm just saying. So fourth base from Serral is here. I guess while we're here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. Honestly, if you're here for Serral games, I got a bunch. I'll keep casting them. I assume they'll release the replays from Katowice too. Be casting a bunch of those for the channel. It's 5 times a week, the StarCraft 2 content here. So be sure to check it out. I've been casting since 2015. I know my back catalog isn't that big, but that's because all my other casts are on my other channel, youtube.com/Falcon Paladin, which is now a Brood War channel, but there's a lot of StarCraft 2 content on there if you want to take a look. All right, so coming in, Marine tank, 7-minute push with his Hellions, with his Reaper. General Bjorn is here. Okay, Reaper Bjorn is here. Look at Serral, though. Look at him sneaking around over this way. He knows. He knows. You want to step on the creep, TY? I'm going to ambush your butt. I'm going to come up from the backside, and I'm going to just splash all over your Marines. Scouting Marine does get taken down. TY. It's a good position to set up on. It is hard to approach these tanks from the front, but again, these guys exist. These dudes exist here. God, this worries me. This worries me for TY. Okay, so there we go. Front side, top side. Ling, Bane, Hydra is here. Baneling's trying to get some connections, and surprise! We came from everywhere, and everybody dies. That's exactly what Serral is so good at. Like, Raynor is just good at macro. I think Raynor's macro in general might be better than Serral's, but Serral's setups and surrounds might be the best in the world. I mean, again, Dark might just be better at macro and micro than Serral is. But just the awareness, the patience, the timing, Serral loves setting up those ambushes. He loves making you feel like as a Terran, you've got the high ground. Everything down here is your enemy and a peasant for you to grind under your feet. And then from the backside, Banelings come and everything changes. It's just Zerg is 80,000% better if... Well, one tank going to chase you away if they can get a surround. If they're attacking from one direction, they're not as good. Honestly, I think everybody's better that way, but Zerg especially benefits immensely from being able to get his full surround on. Obviously, Protoss and Terran getting a surround is going to be awesome too. This map awareness as well, the creep spread, the Overlord positioning. It's just so hard to put one over on Serral. It's hard for you to sneak up on this guy. I don't know about attacking up a ramp. Yeah, Serral doesn't want to attack up a ramp. That is kind of a, it's a cardinal sin. Attacking up a ramp as a Zerg into a Terran is especially bad. Another thing you never want to do is attack into a base that has an army sitting at it with Terran. You just don't. They're just so good defensively with the siege tanks. The Marines are pretty good too in that situation. Planetary fortresses usually come into play if that's going on here too, but anywho, Serral's been playing extremely well. He just has. He's lost one drone, a handful of lings, no hatcheries have died. He's maxed out. Serral, on the other hand, do we not have the game heart? We don't have the game heart. Serral is at 184, or TY is at 184 supply. He's expanding to a 4th base himself. Feeling pretty good, but I mean, Serral's taking, is this a 6th? That is a 6th base he's taking in the top right. Drilling Claws and 2-2. Finishing up for TY, making him extremely dangerous. Again, Widow Mines. Widow Mines are a bit of the bane of Serral's existence, I think. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just the games that I've seen Serral lose in TVZ, a lot of it's come down to some amazingly cost-efficient Widow Mine hits. Widow Mines are cheap. If they can take, you know, 4 lings with them, they're generally paid for themselves. If they can take 6, 10, 15 lings with them, they're doing great. If they can get Bane lings, that's like A+. A+ maneuvers, man. Liberator's trying to do stuff, but getting scouted. The 4th base forced to pick up. This is honestly one of those matchups where it's like, if the Terran doesn't get anything done in the first 10 minutes, it's really hard for him to beat somebody like Serral, even if it is TY. Again, I'm not calling it over at this point. But TY has just not gotten any damage done at all to the Zerg, and the Zergs actually pressured him on the other side. These Liberators tried to set up shop. No. Say the handful of hiders that exist. We're moving into Ultra Tech. And Adrenal Glands coming in here too. TY can set up here on this high ground all that he wants. I don't think that Serral's going to try to dislodge him at this point. He doesn't have the setup to do it. Oh, this group is in so much trouble. Pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back! Not pulling back. I guess he was worried about the attack trying to come up this front door. Creep Tumors. One of them, 2 of them managed to get down. Another scan would be great. These Banelings finally finished morphing and do escape. Ling Bane Hydra coming into this almost planetary. Oh, it does finish. And Serral doesn't quite like it. He doesn't like that there's a group of Marines defending it too. That's what I'm talking about. It's exactly what I mean. Attacking into a base that has an army sitting at it is a billion times harder than attacking a base that doesn't have anything defending it. I know it sounds simple, but the number of times you'll see lower level Zerg players just attack into a position like this with a planetary, with armies sitting there, it's too many. It's too many times. Somebody here watching is the saddest Dalek, which is a Doctor Who reference. I haven't watched a Doctor Who episode in a while, but I enjoyed the reboot, the Christopher Eccleston through David Tennant, through the Matt Smith stuff. When Capaldi started, he was too angry for me, and I was like, meh. I haven't really watched it since then. I have seen some of the blowback on some recent stuff with Doctor Who. The fans are not happy, from what I understand, so haven't really felt the need to go back. Push in Marine Marauder 2-2 on these guys. Again, both sides attacking. This is what all the great Terrans can do. TY, Innovation, Maru. They can all do this stuff, where they're attacking both sides at once. The Baneling Bomb says goodbye, planetary. Ooh, TY says, does that mean you don't have a lot of defense over here? You do have a lot of defense over here, actually. Blinding Cloud, oh, just abducting the tanks in. That is humongous. Okay, the splits are good, but sometimes, even if you split like a god, there's just too much Zerg, and everybody dies anyway. That is just the fate of some of these Terran units that Marauder dies with. 6 kills, he's got to be pretty happy about that. This is a game that Serral has just had under control for the whole time, I think, for the entire game. I've never really felt like he's been super threatened by anything. He's handled every push that TY has set out here with aplomb. Serral is just on point right now. TY trying to expand to a 6th base, which he does. Ling's immediately going after these SCVs, but there's enough stuff in the general neighborhood to make sure that doesn't go too poorly for the newly landed base. A Lurker Den. So hold on. He gets an Ultralisk Cavern. He gets Chitinous Plating. He doesn't make any Ultralisks. He doesn't make any Ultralisks. Maybe he feels like he doesn't need them. Yeah, I mean, every engagement is TY retreating at the end of it. This one looking a little bit scarier, though. This one with the 3-3. He's got the full upgrades now. Serral's kind of trying to transition into Lurkers. Oh, that's a dead hatch. He didn't have an army in position. Okay, TY engaging and taking down a hatchery. Pushing up the left side is Serral. Oh, getting Medivacs. Again, killing Medivacs is so good. If you're trying to kill a Terran player, kill their Medivacs. If you're trying to kill a Zerg player, kill their hatcheries. I think those are the 2 most important things to kill. That's a lot of Banelings exploding on a tank. Not the greatest trades there, but it is 186 to 141 total supply. This is brutal. TY. He loses his 6th base. I don't think there's any saving it at this point. The Hydra is smashing it. You have to run some of your Marines in to deal with this. There are so many Lings and Banelings, though. Oh, feeling it. Feeling it. Yeah, not good. Not good. Some long-distance mining here from Serral. That is 1 base that died. But resources lost here are 19,000 for the Zerg and 16,000 for the Terran. It's a little bit too close for comfort if you're a Terran here. What you really want to see is the Zerg player closer to 2 times your resources lost, if you can help it. You can make it happen. Pathogen glands coming in. Seismic. What's the upgrade? The range upgrade for the lurkers. I forget what it's called. Seismic something. Stabilizers. It's not really an upgrade that makes any sense, but hey. I'm pretty sure it's stabilizers. Ghost production here from TY. This could get a little bit dicey for Serral. We start seeing ghosts against these ultras especially. We did get some. Hooray! Serral did some Ultralisk stuff for me. Just for me. The tank's trying to get some beautiful hits. Oh, big hits! On them Banelings. Excellent stuff. But man, Serral's just everywhere with exactly as much army as he needs to wipe out your entire base. Your entire SCV line. Actually, some guys escaped with their lives. And then pull back. That is the trick here for Serral, is how much do I need to defend at this point now? How much do I need to push on this base and kill it? Lower level players like me, just send their whole army to try to kill this. Send their whole army down to the south to try to kill it. Serral's got multiple control groups, multiple army groups. TY is doing the exact same thing. He has to know how much to send to the north, how much to send to the south, how much to defend his bases. He's not doing it as well, obviously, as Serral is here today, as that's another base down. It's 56 to 83 total worker count. 22,000 resources lost for Serral, 19,000. Here's another multi-pronged surround. Oh, this is looking like a GG, if you ask me. Tank count not happy. Ultralisks kind of refusing to die. Blinding Cloud a problem, pushing out of that quite nicely, but the Ultras do go down, and the remaining Banelings are chased away. However, Hydra's finished off the 6th base of TY. He's got another orbital down here to the south, but 13 more SCVs died. It is 43 to 83 total workers. The income tab here, as we can see, is insanely favoring Serral, and that's your good game. TY is forced to tap out. Dr. Dog was watching. I don't know who that is. This is a Wardy game, though. In case I didn't mention that previously, there's a link to Wardy stuff in the description. If you don't know who Wardy is, he's been casting professional StarCraft, his own tournaments, and premier events for a long time. So check him out. YouTube and Twitch. Wow. All right. So, end of the day here, I guess. What we're looking at is just Serral dominance. I don't know how else to describe this to you. If we look at resources lost, it's just too close. It's just, if it's 5,000 resources or closer, then it's really bad. It's really bad for the Terran player, 100%. How many bases died? 2 planetaries and an orbital went down. Only 1 hatchery got killed in the entire game. Medevac count not healthy. 15 medevacs died. There were 4 at the end of the game. Did TY ever make any Widow Mines? He got drilling claws. I just realized he never made any Widow Mines at all. He didn't lose any. He didn't have any at the end of the game. But he got the drilling claws upgrade anyway. Did he cancel that one? No. No, he didn't. Interesting. I still feel like Widow Mines are kind of the bane of Serral's existence. If you don't use them, he's so much more comfortable. He's so much braver just kind of moving his Lings and Banes across the map. Because if you do that and there's Widow Mines around, you're going to lose a clump of Banes every time. You need to carefully scout it out with 1 or 2 Zerglings, and it's really time-consuming, and Zerg players hate it. They'd rather just swarm you. And if they can't, it's a problem. So yeah, 32 SCVs down to 1 drone. That's another fact. There are too many factors here. If you just showed any StarCraft 2 fan, hey, look at this game. TY lost 15 medevacs and had 4 at the end of the game. He lost 32 SCVs and only had 40 at the end of the game. He lost 2 planetaries and an orbital, and only 1 hatch died. You just tell any good StarCraft 2 fan that, and they know that Serral won this game. They don't even have to watch it. These final numbers tell us everything about it. The Ghosts did some decent stuff. 6 Ultras died. No Ultras survived the end of the game. which they're a little squishy, but, you know, they get the job done. They soak up a lot of damage, especially if your opponent is largely going Marines, which based on that 184 to 23 ratio of Marines to Marauders tells us a lot, right? It was Marine heavy, and the Ultras were going to do pretty well there. All right. Well, that's going to be it for me today. That was great. That was a really excellent example of what a Zerg player can do, you know, against a Terran. Did a Zerg win the World Championship recently? I don't know. You do. We can talk about it in the comments if you want to. I wouldn't be shocked if any number of players won that thing. Any number, like 8 different players that are in this round of 12. Yeah, I mean, I would not be shocked if Serral, Raynor, Dark, or Rogue won. I mean, I'll be shocked if Stats pulled it out. If Old Man Stats got that thing done. I would be shocked if Hero Marine or Parting won. So that's 7. Who else is left here? I already said Dark, I believe. Innovation might be a bit of a shock as well. Zest might be a bit of a shock as well. So yeah, I'm thinking around 8 players that I would not be surprised to see win. And that's good. I mean, that kind of a balance is nice. Of course, whatever race wins, we're going to hear about balance complaints. It's just the nature of the game. It's always been the case. But anyway, enough rambling from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. You take care of yourself.